Just a quick video to show what an 1866 Broadwood grand action looks like. If you want a really good set of videos, there's some guy on YouTube named Tommy Covington, and he's done a whole series restoring an 1870s Broadwood grand, quite similar to this, although there are some differences. Anyway, just search for Tommy Broadwood and you'll find the series, Tomy. Anyway, so this is 1866. Broadwood was about one of the few, if not the only manufacturer to keep using the simple English action right up into the 1890s. They didn't switch to the repetition action, like the Erard type, until 1890s. So yeah, quite simple, just a jack. There are let-off levers, so it's not quite as basic as the the original English action, which was a lot harder to adjust to reliable let-off. It has an adjustment here, kind of like a rocker, the two screws. That's something that disappeared in the 1870s of Tomy. They've simplified this so that there's no longer a rocker type adjustment. I was surprised to learn this had been restored. The entire piano had been restored in the 1990s, I think, by Blüthner, the piano manufacturer. They have a shop in London, I guess, and they do work on other people's pianos as well as their own. So yeah, I think they did a fairly decent job. Now it looks like somebody else has worked on it since then, because there seem to be two stages of quote restoration. Looks like most of the felt had been replaced probably by Blüthner. And then you can see on the tail rests there's an extra red strip. On the hammer rests, there's this extra white strip has been added. I'm guessing those are post-Blüthner. And whoever worked on it didn't seem to really understand how the action was supposed to be set up, so it's kind of a mess now. So I'm kind of going back, stripping it back down and starting over. Hopefully nothing too major, just regulation and rejigging all the felts and balance and key dip and everything. You can see here you want about a millimeter of what do you call it? Of oh my god. Anyway, you want a gap between the jack and the hammer butt there, just so you don't lose all your repetition. It's not like the modern where the hammer can sit on it. And then you got the escapement. The escapement levers are sit on the keys, so that there's another example that looks like maybe those red felts were added by the second quote restorer. I'm not sure. But yeah, they sit on the keys. They contribute to the key balance setup. I'm guessing Blüthner refelted all the hammers, although the shanks and the cores are original as far as I can tell. Actually, one thing I'm not sure about is this overrail, oops, on the back of the keys. Oh, shadows. You can see right now it's not hitting that. I'm wondering if that was the original key stop mechanism. Of course, right now it's got the modern punchings here, and it looks like originally the front rail would have been totally covered with felt, or at least two strips of felt along the two rows of pins. based on what I saw, based on a bit of what I can see in the remains of this, as well as what I saw on Tommy's, the 1870s. On his, there are strips. There's a base strip running along the length, and then there are also the felt washers setting the dip. And I don't believe his has a back rail. So it's possible this had both. Maybe it was meant to stop at both the front and the back. Uncertain. I think I will just be doing just stick to the front to set the key dip. And on here, even more obvious, you can see the old balance felt. It looks like they were like rectangular pieces for each pin glued down to the balance rail. Again, based on Tony's, which is much more intact, in original condition. Here you can see the remains of the individual strips. And again, you know, that's fine. I'm not going to go for a full restoration here. Just switch to leave the modern balance felt punchings there. They all have to be adjusted because the second person seems to have gone crazy and added extra space, and the key dip is totally out of whack. So there, it's not going to be a major bit of work for me. Just really restoring the action to working parameters and regulating it. Anyway, so that's an 1866 Broadwood Grand. Yes, very weird. very weird design. Unique to Broadwood as far as I know. These hammers are each section of hammers is hinged on just a wire, basically, a thick wire. And these brass combs you can see that kind of maintain the hammer spacing. There's actually two of them stacked up, and then there's a little groove in, I think, both pieces, top and bottom, and they clamp that wire. They clamp that wire in the groove. So yeah, it's fun. You can't, if you want to work on if you need to remove a hammer, you have to remove the whole little subsection. That gives you the basic overview.